now we are at the church. You tell us about the church, the history of the church. And then as you're talking, I'll ask you questions.
Well, my name is Jimmy Kitao. I am the secretary of the Freetown community. Right now where we are inside the church, which was built 130 years ago. This is the Emmanuel Church, Freetown. Well, the history of Freetown dates back to the 17th century, 1844, when Dr. Kraft landed in Mombasa. He landed here in Mombasa with his wife and child. But unfortunately, within a short time, the wife and the child died and was buried at Mkomani, near Mombasa. In 1846, Dr. Redman also came to Mombasa and joined hands with Dr. Kraft. They established the first church, CMS Church, that is Church Missionary Society Church, at Rabai. But from records, it was seen that they mostly operated from Mombasa. In 1873, slave trade in east coast of Africa was abolished. And in 1875, Freetown was registered and established as a colony of the freed slaves. This church construction started in the year 1879 and was completed in 1889. It took 10 years to build this church. The local labor was from the freed slaves, people from Freetown, but technical assistance and financial assistance was from the British government and the Church Missionary Society. Amongst the people who were settled here came from southern Rhodesia, that is today Zambia, northern Rhodesia, today is Zimbabwe, Nyasaland, which is today Malawi, and southern Tanganyika, which is Tanzania. Also there are some who came from Mozambique. So you can see it was a mixture of so many cultures. And to manage those different cultures, the British insisted or encouraged or forestalled a policy that they should all communicate in English or Swahili. So after the church was built, that was 1889. In 1930, the Divinity School, which is alongside the just across the road, had been established in 1889. But in 1930, it was transferred to Limuru. At the same time, the missionaries sold 600 acres of Freetown land to a laundry company called the Nyali Limited, without consulting the people of Freetown and without compensation. You can see how the injustice started long time ago. So our people were moved from here because the village Freetown, old Freetown was around this church. They were all moved further ahead, about 2 or 3 kilometers from here, and settled in a 50-acre land subdivided in quarter-acre plots. So today we have a big problem, land problem. Also, 2.5 acres was set for a cemetery for the missionaries and the freed slaves to bury their dead. Also here, this church, another 1.5 acres was secured. This is what is left today. We have multiplied, we have no extra land. So we are in the process of trying to build to government to see where to get land, but these days land is impossible. So these are the kind of injustices which the Freetown people have faced. So we are appealing to well-wishers to come and assist us or help us to secure or to uplift the standard of people of this community. Today, it is even difficult for our children to get IDs, because when you say you are from Nyasaland or Malawi, nobody understands. They'll say, oh, you are not a Kenyan. So we are also trying to see how to approach the government so that Freetown is registered as a tribe in Kenya, so that our children can register their tribe as Freetownians. Otherwise, in another 5 to 10 years, the community of Freetown will go extinct, because most of these young boys now, they have moved, or they feel safe to declare themselves on their mother's side, like rabbis. You find so many people are now rabbis, and so if that trend continues, in another 5 to 10 years, you'll find no people from Freetown. So in order to rescue that, that's why we want to plead to the government, so that we register our tribe as Freetown, so that like what the Makonde have renewed. Although the Makonde's issue is a little bit different, because they're all people from one place, but here there are people from different places, you see. But still it is manageable. With goodwill, it is manageable. So that is small history as Freetown is concerned, and the church.
Do you think since Freetown has existed up to now, has there been any progress in you people being identified as Kenyans, or getting any benefits?
I would say to some extent, yes. We have had our people also ascend to very high positions in the government, but generally we feel we have been marginalized. We have been marginalized because we are expanding. We have no land, and there's, as a community, we see we have been marginalized.
Thank you so much.
No, challenges, as I said, he has mentioned my secretary, Jimmy Kitao. He has mentioned quite a number of challenges which we are getting. For example, when it comes to registration of ID. You know, most of our families, most of our children, they want to maintain the tribes of our great-grandfathers. So when it comes to registration of ID card, when you say what is your tribe, they expect the registration would say you are Giriama, you are Mdigo, which is not the case with us, the Freetownians. Straight away they say I'm Nyasa. You say I'm Nyasa, there is a problem. There are no Anyasas in Kenya. There are no Wayao in Kenya. There are no Anyamwezi in Kenya. So they are subjected to either vetting. committees of the registration, where they are subject to vetting. You have so many people, officers vetting our children, vetting our people. You see, where are you coming from, history, and most of the vetting officers, they don't know history of the Freetown. Sometimes I have to be called, to identify or to certify that he is a Freetownian and he comes from this family. So these are the problems about they're facing the descendants of the ex-slaves.
What would you like to see being done to help you preserve your traditions, be identified as a people?
We are in the process, but if the media or the international community can help us, at least the government should recognize us as either the 45th tribe of Kenya, that the Freetownians. There is difference between us, the Freetownians, and the rabbis. Most of the rabbis people, have you been to Rabbi? Rabbi, they are ex-slaves. But since they were settled at Rabbi, most of them they have adapted the tribe of Rabbi. And yet they are not rabbis. They are nyasas like us. They are elves like us. Just because they are settled there, and that place is called Rabbi. Then the inhabitants of that place are called Rabbi. So they have adopted the tribe of Rabbi. While with us, we were settled in a cosmopolitan place, Muslim oriented place. So we have been maintaining our tribes as Freetownians. When immediately you say a Freetown, you know you are coming from Freetown, you are ex. That's the difference between us and the rabbis, because they were settled at a place where the majority are rabbis. So now they have adopted themselves to be